Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good evening, everybody.
Hope everybody's trying to keep cool. Hey, Huga. How you doing? Good to see you. Indiana Backyard Gardener. Good to see you as well. Vineyard Chicks. Have you got rid of the flavor from last night? And how many times did you brush your teeth? Hello, Bubble Bibble.
Just eat one of the toothpaste flavored ones. That'll knock it out.
Yeah, I think even the toothpaste one doesn't taste very well either.
Yeah.
That and popcorn. I never liked the taste of the popcorn ones.
I could never really get past the texture of a jelly bean. Jelly beans and licorice. I could never really get into it.
Yeah, Laffy Taffy's another one. It's nothing like chewing on something that feels like it's trying to pull your teeth out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be doing probably Mondays for the next few weeks at least. Just talk about canning and preserving food, because it's, it is that time of the year where we're going to start doing this stuff. And I've been reading this old book. I mean, it's so old, the cover's falling off of it and stuff, and about some ways they used to preserve food pre 1850. And 1850 is when the canning jar first came out in that area. I'm not sure exactly when, but it was 1850-ish. So, and a lot of people didn't jump on board on that because new technology and everything didn't quite take too well, and a lot of people didn't trust it. Surprise. Yeah, and I've got an expert here tonight, so she's on her way home, so she'll be up here when she gets home and gets situated and everything.
Say John Landis Mason,
that's what was Mason,
a tinsmith from New Jersey, invented it in 1858.
Yeah. See, I told you it was 1850-ish. Just I don't know. Now I do. 58. Okay. And I do believe before that they was, well, I was telling Jeff about and this was in this book. I'd like to get a good version of this book that's not wore out, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. But they would take paper or whatever paper that they were making. They would have their jar or their crock or whatever that they were storing stuff in. Say they were making their jelly. It'd be nice and hot and everything. And they would take this paper, thin piece of paper, and they would dip it in egg whites until it was saturated real good. And they would fold it over top of that jar and hold the seal until it sucked the air out of that whatever was left, and then they would hold it there until it was bound enough to where, and that's how they sealed stuff when they didn't have the wax or other methods. And I thought that was cool. I never heard of using egg whites and a piece of paper to do that. Now, the only problem with that is you have to be very careful because one little bump and you break the seal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do some research on stuff like that, pre-Canon era to see how they did stuff and like that, or like some places in the world they'll go dig and they'll find these old pots that still got oils and wines and stuff in it, and they sealed it up
Yeah.
similar with wax and leaves and stuff, and they say it's still good.
Yeah, I was looking at, there's a recipe. Now I don't know if it's like a northern thing, but like my grandpa would call a bell pepper, he would call it a mango. And he never
Hmm.
knew there was a fruit named mango, but that's what it was called. And I grew up calling it that myself. I call them bell peppers now, but um, there used to be another fruit, I guess, or vegetable. I don't know if it was a fruit or a vegetable, but it was um, a round cucumber, and it was called a mango. And it didn't have any flavor to it. You grew it, and that's the reason why it's not around now. But um, somebody may know this or not, what it, if there is any around now. But it was about the size of a baseball or a softball. And what they would do, they would cut it in half and then scoop out the insides, and then they would stuff it with cabbages and tomatoes and peppers and spices, and they would sew it back up, and they would put it in a brine to pickle it. You know, a crock, and they would store it in that, and whenever it was time to eat it, they would pull it out, and all that stuff was inside of it, and that, and they called it mangoing because it was a mango, so they called that process mangoing. And they used to do that with peppers too. They get them real good sized peppers, and they would put slaw type stuff in there, just herbs and stuff like that, and sew it back up, and they'd put it in a pickling brine.
Hmm.
And
That was some good stuff.
yeah, and I wonder, because I was reading through there, and uh, some of the vegetables and stuff they used to eat, I've never heard of, that they don't have anymore. Different kinds of muskmelon. There's actually a thing that looks like a watermelon, but it's not really a watermelon. It's dang it, it's something that they put in the fruit cake.
Uh,
Oh, I can't remember what it is now. Anyway, and it
Dates.
doesn't have, no, it doesn't have much of a flavor either. Um, what they would do to it, they would either pickle it or they would, turn it into a jam by adding a lot of sugar.
Oh, oh Lord.
It may have been. It was something mangoing or something in that range. The first part it was mango, but that's how they preserve, and it really sounds good. They would chop up cabbage like they were making slaw and stuff, and they would add peppers, onions, and spices, and they would sew up those peppers and that weird cucumber mango thing. I'll have to mark that down and see if I can actually find any seeds for that. Not that I don't think I would grow it, because it doesn't have any flavor. So it'd be something like just kuka melons.
Hey, a little salt, everything tastes good.
That's, that's another thing, like you mentioned, some of that stuff they use isn't around no more. So even with the knowledge, know-how, and the tools, you still have to change it up a little bit based on what's available to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the this book was based in Wisconsin, I do believe. I think it was Wisconsin. What they would, because they couldn't grow a lot of stuff. Like watermelon was really hard to grow, so they wouldn't grow the really big melons. They'd grow the smaller ones. A lot of root crops, and believe it or not, like their bean crops, what they would do with these when they got to where they produced all the beans, they wouldn't pick them. What they would do, they would pull up the root of the plant and they would fold them up one after another one on top of each other, and then they would put them in the cellar and let them dry after they dried out, and put them in the cellar, and they were all in big old bushels instead of just bags or something of beans. It was big old bushels, and it was less chance of rottage that way, because when the beans were close together, there's more chance of moisture and stuff. And it would store until wintertime, and then that's when they would start shucking the beans and everything to have over the wintertime.
So I make you some leather breeches this year.
Well, it was kind of that was pretty much it, because if you just want to let it breeches, you just pull the whole bean out instead of shucking them.
Well, you kind of had to let them rehydrate also before you cook them.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I found that real interesting, because when you have beans now, and I'm talking beans, not a green bean, but beans that you open up and there's beans in it.
Right.
No, there hardly anybody that gets crops of that stuff nowadays. It's usually, they go for the green beans so they can can them and whatnot.
People too lazy.
Yeah, that's something I definitely like to do more of in the future. More beans, store them up.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with it.
I'll bet your bottom dollar I'm canning some beans again this year. I think we down to 2 jars.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm waiting for that farmers market to have another sale on their green beans. I keep opening Facebook up, and I've got it their page saved, so when it pops up, I'll be driving down there.
Yeah.
They got the best peaches.
Dude, I don't even want to hear it.
Whenever it's time to like right before I'm going to go get take a bath or shower, I'll go get a peach because if not, this whole beard is all sticky.
I bought some peaches yesterday from the grocery store. Got home, and they're not white peaches, okay? I peeled that thing, and as I was cutting into it, it about like cutting a tree bark.
Into it. You need a knife for a peach?
This one I did. I needed the chisel. Maybe a bandsaw. I cut a thin slice and gave it to Dixie. She took a bite and handed it back. She said, "It ain't no way."
Dragon eggs.
Hello, Mr. Vestal. Hope you had a cool and prosperous day. Matter of fact, I hope everybody in chat had a prosperous day today.
Or at least halfway cool.
Air conditioning. Don't say that. That's what's wrong with the world now is the air conditioning. And I am one of them.
I definitely appreciate it.
They got the big old onions too. $25 for a 50 pound bag of onion.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been up the last meat couple of years.
Yeah, I was thinking about but boy, that would you could spell my house up for a week. I was thinking about dehydrating a bunch of them up.
What kind of onions are
It'll
they?
be longer than a week.
They're big onions.
Like sweet onions?
If you dehydrate, go ahead.
I don't see what they are. I can't tell, but they're good size onions.
If you do decide to dehydrate them, do them in your building out back. And it'll take 24 to 28 hours.
I eat a lot of onions.
Oh yeah,
So
it's hard to. Oh wow, I can actually zoom in bigger than that. Okay.
Especially this time of year. Onions, cucumbers, tomatoes. I can't get enough of them.
You ever had a cucumber salad?
Oh yeah.
They're good size. 50 pounds. That's not bad. Oh, I didn't put it on the screen. Oops.
Okay, yeah.
I realized I didn't put it on the screen yet. Yeah,
I look like Vidalia onions, the sweet ones.
Yeah, that's a good looking onion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't blame you. I'd get a bag myself too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Make
just trying
onion powder.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of onion powder though. I think I'd keep it in chunks for a good while.
I ain't talking about all of it onion powder. You know.
Yeah, well, I'd have to make me some onion soup too.
Yeah.
Long as the onion's cooked, I got no problem with it.
You don't like them raw? Uncooked?
No, I will not eat it. If I go to bite into a hamburger and there's an onion on it, that sucker's coming apart with a couple of toothpicks. I'm pulling them off.
As long as it's cooked, though.
Yeah, you're right.
I got you.
These are cotton candy. And it's $15 a box or $2 each.
I wonder how those taste. I imagine they're pretty sweet.
They are. They're really good.
It's a good looking onion.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I don't think my wife's eating none of those.
I've heard of them, but I've never seen them. I'd get some if I run across them.
The only onion I will eat raw is like you pull them up out of the yard.
Oh, the green onions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't got that harsh of a taste to it.
Yeah, I love them too.
I'm trying to find them peaches so I can show you.
That's what I did. I got up early yesterday and rode to the farmer's market. I got me some peaches. Pretty good ones.
Yeah, they got pickles, or the little cucumbers you can turn into pickles. I was thinking about getting some of those, but I still got a lot of cucumber jars of pickles downstairs. Oh, they don't have the picture of the peaches. Oh well.
Well, now up town I grew up in, they closing the farmers market up down there, and I'm gonna tell you what. Just the inside, I bet you there's about 150 vendors inside. That ain't including what's outside.
Yeah, ours things have changed so much in this area. There's so many regulations and stuff. They used to sell cheese. They used to sell eggs, and
Yeah.
now you have to file for a permit to sell any of that stuff.
I want some good raw milk is what I want.
It's ridiculous. I did find a place on the way up to the Amish area that sells raw milk.
And that's up there where you at.
Hello.
Sound like you're tired.
Just a little.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was an adventure.
All that driving last week, and then you go and drive some more.
Believe me, I didn't want to. I borrowed my niece's van. It didn't have air conditioning, so
Oh.
it was sort of like last week.
Out of the frying pan in the fire.
It's only 85 today, so that's better than last week.
I like how we say it's only 85.
And it's June in Michigan. It's like supposed to be 65.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 72 on a good day.
And that's why I said it. This is only June. The hot months are still to come.
Well, our cherry trees are all ripening. They don't ripen till July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's unreal around here.
My grass is turning brown.
Oh, mine has. Which I don't mind the grass. I don't care for the grass.
Yeah.
If I could, I would remove all my grass and put garden.
But this grass is on top of the septic.
Oh.
Ooh. That's dry.
Yeah.
Good thing I rent.
Oh.
Was going to ask you about now this is something that I learned off of you when I was sitting there watching you do the milk and stuff.
Mhm.
And you were talking about those chicken cookers, that deep fried chickens and stuff.
Yes.
That you can't put a pressure canner on those.
You should not put some of the, like, some brands on those. The BTUs are too high. You need to get I need to turn myself there. Wrong hand. The BTUs are too high. You need a reducer. And you can go to a local propane place. Any place that sells propane can order you a reducer. Because they're about twice as high, and they can melt some brands of canners. Now, All American told me that they wouldn't melt their canner, but I know that they will warp other brands, and then they're not usable. It's not
I
worth
wouldn't want to take a chance on it.
No. You know, and by melt I mean warp, so that the bottom is no longer even, and then it's not usable.
I've seen people complain about that. They'll put it on their stoves and it wobbles.
Yeah, that's not safe.
Yeah.
I thought it was on kind of my stove wasn't level.
That could be the problem too, but
yeah, I've seen them on top of counters, and they just wobble back and forth.
Yeah. And that's something you should always check if you buy a used one, to make sure you're getting a good one and not one that's been warped.
Yep. I had an actual pressure cooker that was like that, and found out that at a certain pounds per pressure, the seal would blow because it had a little warp to it, and that was last time I used it.
Yeah, not good. I was just having a ball when I went to this antique store. He had just a whole wall along the bottom, just lined up with old canners.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
We have an antique store down here, but it's like an antique flea market, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Each place would rent a stall, and each one had totally different things. And they did have one in there that had some really old pressure canners, but they were real expensive, in the hundreds of dollars.
And look at the price of a new one right now.
I know.
You know, I mean, they're quite expensive.
Yeah.
Depending on what brand you get. Every brand is expensive, but
Oh yeah. Now, are you going to be? Well, I know you're not going to be doing any potatoes.
no potatoes ever again.
Are you going to do anything new this year?
I'm gonna do I always do new stuff, so I'm always looking for ideas. If somebody wants to see something, I'm kind of jam and jellied out. I mean, there's just so much I can tie my jars up doing, and so many gifts I can give, and so many family members now claiming to be diabetic because I've given them jelly so many years in a row.
Well, now if you've got extra and wanting to give them away, hey, here I am.
Mr. Bear Truth, you should have been at the summit. I just made an offer. If anybody's in Michigan, I'd be more than happy to give them some canned potatoes.
But I'm in North Carolina.
Well,
and I've got enough canned potatoes.
So do I. I have a lifetime supply. One year I decided to can over 300 pounds.
Now,
I would like my jars back.
Liquid?
Yes,
Did you
always.
use liquid?
Yeah, I always do.
I didn't do mine like that. I put them in the pressure canner, but I didn't put no liquid in there with them.
Right. A lot of people are trying that. I haven't done it. And the reason I have not done it is primarily because I have 300 quarts of potatoes sitting on my shelf right now.
A lot. There's a bunch of people who come up talking about dry canning. Yes. They would dry can them in the oven or something like that. To me, no.
Oh no.
And when I say dry canning, really?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. When I say dry canning, I put mine in the pressure cooker and cook them.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Dry canning is a term that's kind of misused. It can mean so many different things to so many different people. I actually kind
of. Uh-oh.
Well, you're back.
Am I back?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that was weird. Sorry, I just decided to pick up the house internet.
But I mean, I've done a lot myself, and sit down and think about it, to go through inventory just for me and my wife, about 6 months, if that much. Mm-hmm. That's it. I've got to get on the ball and do some more.
Well, see, that's where I learned I learned something this week or last week. I still think it's this week. About how they're planning, how they plan their from their seasons and stuff to have it 3 years, 3-year supply, and you rotate it for those 3 years.
Right. That's the bad thing. I've not rotated mine yet. I'm trying to go through
and keep a journal. I never thought about doing the journal thing because I can see what I have, but there's good thinking behind a journal. So say you're feeding a family of 6, and your crops and you have enough corn. You think you have enough corn for the whole year until next season. Well, maybe 1 year you're what 10 quarts too low. So then you mark it down that you didn't have enough and everything. Then the next year you make a little bit more so that
Right.
your year's covered.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And that way you keep track of all the stuff, and then you rotate. You keep rotating that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do something I very seldom do up on here. I'm kind of gonna keep quiet. I'm gonna listen to what Rebel Canner is canning and everything. I'm kind of interested in what she's doing.
Yeah, I actually learned quite a bit in those 2 days.
We don't have nothing like that around here, to my knowledge.
What's that? Oh, I think they do. There's those things popping up all over the place.
Great Jams wants to know, where can we find where Tammy will be next?
You'd have to ask her that. You can find her on her.
Oh, you're
website.
muted. Okay. Tammy, you mute. There you go.
I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook.
Yeah,
Great
I can't
Great
share
Jams
the
can
Facebook.
always get a hold of me directly too. She can email me. You should have my email. You can always talk to me directly.
Well, now on Facebook, what do you go by?
Rebel Canners, and I'm the one with the black banner.
Okay.
Because I do have somebody that has tried to be a copycat and tell people she's me.
Uh-huh. I think we've all been that situation time or two.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go out and come back in because for some reason when I did that weird thing, I can't hear. So I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll be here.
This is why I need to learn sign language.
Have you ever canned milk, Jeff?
No,
I haven't either.
I've been wanting to, because we go through milk like like a tractor trailer truck around here.
Well, the thing is, when you do canned milk, it makes it sweeter
Oh,
because it heats it up and caramelizes it.
well, now would it be best to can like from a cow or from a grocery store?
Well, I'll let Tammy tell you,
Okay.
because I already learned all about this.
So you can can either, because it pasteurizes it right in the jar. It brings it up to 240 degrees. So you can can milk that's been straight from the cow.
Okay, now if you do it out of the grocery store, would that hurt it since it has already been pasteurized once?
No.
Okay.
Nope. And I kind of like that a little bit better, just because whatever you get, like if you get skim milk, it's going to be like 2% when you're finished. If you get 2%, it's going to be like whole milk, which is from the store. Whole milk is 4%, which means it's really watered down. So if you do like fresh from the cow milk, make sure you skim all the cream off. Skim it all, because it's going to be that much more richer and sweeter once it's canned. It also caramelizes the sugars, so it's a little sweeter. I don't like it necessarily for drinking because it's so sweet, but I do use it in all my baking.
See, that's my problem. I got to learn how to milk a cow first.
I just watched a video by Anne of all trades, and she says to be sure to wine and dine the cow first. Just don't go out in the pasture and try to milk. She says you really gotta wine and dine her first. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Jeff's out of that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep quiet for a little bit. I
Okay.
think.
One
No
one
fun.
thing that I think I would want to try is making the creamer.
Yes. It's
Putting a little bit of, because just adding vanilla or something in there that would be really cool.
Yep. You can put a splash of vanilla. You can buy those coffee. I'm on Wi-Fi. I should not be blinking in and out. I'm on Wi-Fi. But a splash of the creamer or the flavorings, so you could make any kind of flavor.
Yeah, I was thinking because they sell those little bottles that you can. It flavors the coffee. I was thinking
Yeah.
about putting a little bit in that, and then
Yeah, I've done 3 or 4 different kinds.
okay,
I really every one I've tried I've liked, but
yeah,
I always like the flavor before I canned it too. So
yeah, because that's what I thought would be. Not so much of, because I don't use milk that much, because I just don't like it anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
now if I got some whole milk or something, from a cow, I would probably like it better, but I just don't like milk anymore.
yeah. Store-bought milk is not the same as real milk.
No.
No, it ain't.
No.
And Walmart milk ain't even nowhere close to milk, period.
Oh,
Well, whole milk is 4%. That means they've watered it down, and you're buying a gallon that's mostly water, even when you buy
Yeah.
whole milk.
Exactly.
yeah, it's in that like that ice cream that we had. Oh man, that's the best ice cream I've had in a long time.
I know, and Rebecca tried to shame me because I was eating my dessert first, and I'm like, oh no, there is no shame in eating this before it melts.
Look, down in the South, it don't make no difference what you eat first.
Yeah, I had a friend that always said we worked in the operating room, so we could get paged away from lunch every day, anytime. And my friend said, life is uncertain, especially here. Eat dessert first.
Mhm.
Good motto.
It all ends up in the same place.
Yep.
Do you have a cookbook out? And if you do, what's the name of it, and how can we go about purchasing one of them?
I have 4 on Amazon. The last one is recipes from the files, and they all have Rebel Canners in the title. And the last one is all recipes that have been in my group posted on Facebook. It does not have an index because it's too big and I wanted just to be recipes, but it's all the recipes from the start of the group until 2019. So every recipe posted in the group for the first 10 years of the group.
Oh, wow.
So if you could only get one, that'd be the one I recommend.
Oh,
Most
yeah.
definitely. Anything got
That's a
food
lot of
in it,
recipes.
good to get.
The first book I did was just called Rebel Canners, and it was all my family's recipes. So it was like a recipe for tomatoes, and then it would be how we made. My dad always liked tomatoes and macaroni, and so I do a
Okay.
recipe and then a recipe on how to use it. Because a lot of people can stuff, and then they're like, okay, I've got 47 quarts of tomatoes, but I don't know a recipe to put them in. So
Tomato sauce,
yeah.
ketchup.
Well, did you know the first ketchup was made out of cucumbers?
I know that mushroom
Really?
ketchup used to be very popular. They didn't use tomatoes until the
Yep.
1800s, late 1800s.
Yeah, they thought they were poison.
Yes. Yes, they did. They just grew them because they were beautiful, and then they didn't eat them.
I wonder the guy who decided, well, they look so good. I'll just eat one and see if I die.
I want to know if he was like disappointed. Like, was he really trying to die? And then he's like, wow, this tastes great, but I'm still alive. I mean, like, how does that happen?
That was probably my great Uncle Watt. Pretty sure he would have did something like that.
I want to
Okay.
know what the first person thought when he opened up an oyster and decided to eat that one.
These are the titles, right?
Yes, this is one. This is one of the middle ones.
There's one, and there's another one. I think Grape Jams is posting the links too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she is.
And there's the next title. I wish it would let you pin these. I think you can. I can favorite them. I don't know if it pins them though.
I think you can only pin one at a time.
Oh, yep. That's it.
That's the problem. Yeah.
But just keep an eye on Grape Jams. Yep, she's posting links to them if you're interested in those books.
So the middle link is the one you was talking about with all your canning recipes.
The one that says recipes from the files.
Okay.
Recipes from files.
Not a lot of pictures in that book, just a lot of recipes.
And I'm leaving chat on, so if you come back and rewatch this, you can find the links in the chat.
I'm just going to Amazon.
Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Court.
Come on.
And
what?
Courtney, I got my steam canner. I called her on the way down. I'm like, you're not gonna believe what I'm getting. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This canner is older than my grandmother. I'm pretty sure it was either 1910 or 1930 they made these. If it was 1910, my grandmother was not born yet.
Yeah, just
steam canner. Ain't that two of them kind of like one turned over on top of the other one?
Well, this is a conservo. This goes on a wood stove. So it actually has a copper pan that looks like a buffet pan. And then it has, the Coleman ovens? It has a really tall Coleman oven on top of it. And it has shelves so you can put either 14 quarts or 18 pints in it.
Oh,
well,
wow.
now the reason I asked is because when you were talking about it earlier, I went to Marketplace and I pulled up pressure canners for sale near me, and it pulled that one up, $10.
Oh.
$10? You better go get it.
You should go get it because they're going on eBay for $150. The Conservo, yes. And I've been looking for one for a year, and this is the first one that has come in Michigan across my feed.
And it would be safe to use outside, right?
Yes, you could use that outside.
Open flame.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because they're made to go on wood stoves.
Okay.
So you could put it like on a cast iron pan over the fire and like flip a big frying pan over and set it on it. They're about like 14 by 14.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check into that then if you can do it on open fire.
Oh, I'll be doing some videos very soon.
Because the ones that you can get for just water bathing outside, those things are expensive. The big stainless steel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and this is copper. This is all copper. And
wow.
The bottom is copper and the top is tin. And then it has two doors that open up so you can get things on different levels. And then at the top it's got a spout so you can put water down in the bottom directly down in the bottom, and you can see that it's steaming. Make sure it doesn't run dry.
How can you can outside and it's 80 and 90 degrees on top of that?
Well, pretty
Big
easy.
air.
Apparently, I did two shows a day last week for 2 days, and we were running 4 canners, 2 water bath and 2 pressure the whole
I'd
time.
be out like a light.
And that's why I said I don't, because at one point me and Courtney were up front in the front row, and that industrial thing was going off, and I could feel the heat from that thing, and I was a good ways from it,
Oh yeah.
and that thing was going plonk, plonk, plonk.
So
every
you
so
must have,
often, and the heat. Oh man, I was roasting and
You
sitting
got-
down.
you got to remember, you're in health wise, you're in better condition than I am.
Yeah. Well, I do water bath can over campfire. I've been doing that every time I go camping. I also forage.
Okay.
We got stopped. There was a train and we got stopped, and it was like 30 minutes we were stopped, and there was elderflower in the ditch where we were stopped. And I'm like, if the train decides to move, because it was both ways as far as you could see. I'm like, if this train decides to move, I'll jump back in the car, but I'm not going to sit in here and watch those elderberries in the wind while I'm sitting here waiting for this train. So I actually jumped out and foraged. And when I'm camping, I forage, and then I take jars and I just camp out.
I
while
do
camping.
the same thing. If I see, and it's because Mullen's like the easiest thing
Oh
to
yeah.
see. I'll see that thing, and I'll go out there, and I may or may not have a machete with me, and I'll go out there, chomp, and then I'll throw it in the back of the truck and get back in the car real quick.
I take a pair of those Dollar Tree pruners.
Yeah.
That's my machete, but they're quick, they're easy, they flip right into my pocket, and they're legal carry anywhere. So I just take those in my car, and then I'm out there foraging with a couple Ziploc bags.
Oh, I don't
And
have it. That's why my machete's in the house now, because
yeah,
I got told don't be seen with that in your vehicle again.
just go to Dollar Tree, pick up a $1.25 pair of those pruners in the garden center, and they work great. I mean, you can take branches that thick with them.
Well, see,
Yeah.
that's one thing I've never done was water bath. I've always pressure canned.
Water bath is perfect for like fruits and things.
Yeah.
So, and that's a lot of what I'm like right now. I'm more foraging mulberries and things like that. So I'll be doing a lot of fruit and canning a lot of fruit. So I can take my water.
I water bath jam
Yeah.
a couple of years back. That's it though, but nothing else.
I can't.
Made some ballistic jam one time.
I was going to ask you, was that your bulletproof jam?
No, that was the very last thing I done. It was before that. I still got a jar of grape jam left. But my jam, I made it out of grape juice, and I made my jam out of juice. Is what I've done.
Oh, that's a great way to do it. If you can buy 100% juice at the store, or if you've already got 100% juice, that's the perfect way. A lot of times I'll make the juice and then I'll do the jam in the winter.
Right. No sugar added. You got to make sure it ain't no added sugar to it.
It's way too sweet if you do.
Oh God! If you ain't a diabetic, you will be after the first spoonful.
Yes, and that's why I'm like, I really don't want to make too many more. I got a whole shelf of jam. I don't want too much more in the way of jam.
Is it okay to double a jam recipe using?
Never, ever, ever double a jam recipe. Make one batch, and then don't even bother to clean your pan. Make the second one. It does not double, so it doesn't matter what kind of
So if you put
pectin you use, it will not double. It isn't. How do I put it? There isn't a correct way to double a recipe. It will not set up. You're better off to just take your dirty pan and make another batch right away at the same time, I mean, you don't have to wash it if you're, and make another batch right then. But if you try to make double a recipe, it takes a lot more than just double the pectin and the sugar, and it's not worth it.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it'll fail every time.
And don't double the pectin.
Nope.
If it calls for a couple of teaspoons, don't put the whole box in there.
Yeah.
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 Hey,
And
Joe.
just so you know, if you're buying it in bulk, it's 8. I think it's 8. I want to say tablespoons, teaspoons. It's 8 in a box. So you're way better off to buy your pectin in bulk than you are to buy boxes of pectin.
Okay. Okay.
Especially if you're going to be doing a bunch.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, see, that's where that ballistic jam come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, never do what Jeff does.
Yeah, that is the onlyest mistake I've made.
Well,
And
yeah. Well, a lot of people wind up with, they try to double the recipe and then they wind up with syrup. And they're, strawberry
Yeah.
syrup on pancakes, not too bad. Grape
Yeah.
syrup on pancakes, not as good.
Ugh.
I'm gonna do pineapple. That's what I want.
What is your favorite pectin?
I usually use Sure Gel, or I buy in bulk from the Amish, and it's just no brand.
Okay.
But I buy powdered. I always go with the powdered.
Yeah,
Now, there's a difference between powdered and liquid. I need to try Pomona's. I have not ever tried Pomona's. I think if I tried it, I would really like it. I think I'd really, really like it. But with the liquid, you add ingredients in a different order than you do with the powdered. So if you're always used to doing it one way and you wind up getting a box of the other kind, it's not, you don't add it in the same order. And that also screws people up.
Ah.
So I can't remember which is which off the top of my head, but if the order of the sugar and the pectin is different depending on what kind of pectin you're using. So always read the instructions.
I've got a lot of the powdered pectin.
Yeah.
What is the expiration on?
Okay. When my mom died, I had pectin that was so old, it didn't have a date on the package. It was probably from somewhere in the 70s, and this was the 90s. So I used it to see if I could, because you could always redo the jam if it doesn't set. It's
Right.
every bit of that jam set up. I would not hesitate to use old pectin. All that is powdered apple, basically.
Yeah.
It's an ingredient in an apple. It's powdered apple. So I would not hesitate to use it.
Well, now I've got a quart jar of where I dehydrated green apple peelings and made powder out of, just for pectin.
Right. You can make your own pectin. Yes. I've also canned crab apples and used crab apples because they're very high in pectin.
Yeah.
There is you can get a chart where it actually says a lot of recipes will call for mixed fruit, and that's what before pectin was a big thing, because you could use a low pectin fruit and a high pectin fruit like green apples, and then your jelly will set up.
Well, now
that's the way my grandpa did, because I remember having to actually get half of them from the tree and half of them from the ground. I have no idea why, but that's what he said. I had to fill up buckets.
Because he didn't want to use all his apples off the tree.
I don't know.
Well, now, me and a friend of mine was walking through a pasture, and we come up on an apple tree. He reached up and picked one and handed it to me. I took a bite of it, threw it down. It was a crab apple. They don't taste that great.
I always liked them.
There are some varieties that are designed for eating that are really, really good. And then there's some varieties that are just designed to, they put them in apple orchards to pollinate because they're
Yeah.
much better pollinators than
Okay.
eating varieties. And so they'll put them in a few here and there to make sure that they get good pollination throughout your orchard. That's why when you go to the store and you get an apple, they tell you it won't grow true because it may have been cross-pollinated with a crab apple.
All I know, if a person has never ate a persimmon, I'm going to have fun.
I want some seeds. I want to start a persimmon in my food forest, but I'm one of those persons that have never had a persimmon.
Really?
Yes.
Do not eat a green one. Do not eat one that's semi. Make sure it's kind of mushy
Okay.
before you eat one. But
Well, I want
each persimmon has about 5 seeds in it.
Well, I want to get some seeds and start some in my food forest. I wanted to get pawpaw first, and I think I finally got a pawpaw going.
I've
Oh,
never
that's
seen
good.
a pawpaw tree.
You're in the South. How do you
I
not?
know I'm in the South, but I've never seen one to my knowledge.
Well, you're probably too
won't.
far. You're too far north.
Hey, don't
They
even
have
go
pawpaws
there.
here.
If,
Are you
when-
along any rivers or streams?
No, I'm not.
That's why.
Okay.
like-
We got them.
They like their feet wet.
We have them all around here, but of course, I'm right on the Savannah River.
Well, now,
Yeah.
when persimmon season comes in, I'll save you up right many of them, and I'll try to send them your way.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, depending on how much I can eat in a day.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay.
Be sure to tell now on the persimmon. Isn't there a way to tell, like, predict the future winter?
Yes, it is. It's with a very sharp knife and a pair of pliers. You got to cut the seed in half, seam to seam. If it is a knife, it means the wind is going to be cold and it will slice through. If it's a spoon, which really is a shovel, it means it's going to be a heavy snowfall.
Ooh.
I cannot remember what the fork is, but it's like this right here. If I pull up a persimmon tree, if I get
Fork minute me, it'll be a mild winter.
Yeah, okay. If I get a persimmon seed and I cut into it, mine says shovel, you could live 50, 60 miles from me. It'd be different.
Okay.
So depending on what area you're in.
Oh.
Right.
So
Well, I have
Michigan,
to-
it'd be the shovel all the time.
Yeah, Michigan will always be a shovel.
Probably a double shovel.
Yeah,
Probably the knife.
probably. Yeah, I'll probably have a knife, a fork, and a spoon in mine.
But I will send you some persimmon seeds.
Oh,
before
thank
summer
you. That would
is
be
over with.
wonderful. See if I can get
No
it
problem.
going. It is almost 8, and I have another commitment. I have to go. I'm so sorry. I really enjoyed being here with you, gentlemen.
It was a
That's
pleasure.
fine.
Hey, are you up for
thank you
next
stopping
Monday?
by.
What?
Are you up for next Monday?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I am at church camp, and I'm not allowed to have my phone out around the campers.
Understandable.
So that's the one Monday I'm not available. I have 2 weeks I'm not available out of the year in the summer. So,
Okay.
but
It's been nice talking with you.
bye-bye.
Bye
Good
bye.
evening.
Okay. Now we got an hour of chat left with us 3 guys. We need to bring somebody in. I tell you what, you get a good persimmon. You can't go wrong with that.
I've had persimmon pie that was better than the fruit.
Persimmon pie, persimmon pudding.
It was pie.
Okay.
because it had chunks and stuff in it. It was really good.
Persimmon pudding.
I still remember the little lady that baked it too. And it wasn't, you have these little pies that are like yay big. That thing was a deep dish
Good
thing.
God.
Oh man.
So you can get 3 slices out of one.
Oh. I thought, because I only thought that and sorry I don't mean to say this word, but cheesecake what was
Yeah,
thick. But,
oh, you can say it now. I got me one yesterday for my birthday.
Okay.
It's safe.
Really?
I got it. Oh yeah.
Is there any left?
Shoot, yeah. My mom, she made a slab of it. I'll be eating on that thing for a week and a half.
Wow. Yeah.
I went and bought me some ring cake pans. I made one New York style cheesecake in it. I think it's time to make some more.
Oh, I know the one where you pop it off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Got some of them. I don't never use them. I need to bake more.
Well, I didn't. My wife used to bake in them.
Yeah.
I used to, because she loved to bake stuff, and at this time it was woohoo kind of a baking pan. It was a loaf pan. It was the dark. It was like a black pan, and it was supposed to be unstickable and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't think anything is. It was for a little bit. It came in a set, and we actually bought it on QVC of all the places. And there's a big loaf one, and she used to make zucchini bread.
I love it.
She would make one of the big ones, and then she would make the little loaves, which the kids got, and I got the big one because I could tear up some zucchini bread.
Man, she was spoiling you left and right.
And that's would go get real butter from the Amish, because we were not too far from big Amish area, so it was not a big deal to go get butter. And as soon as that come out the oven, I'd sit there, eat half the loaf before it cooled down.
The bad thing about it is you go to the store and buy butter today and buy margarine. You can't really tell the difference. But you go to an Amish place or somebody who makes homemade butter, man, there is a big difference, a huge difference.
Yeah. And I did find out that not the way I went for the last 2 days, but the route that I took the first day to go up Walnut Creek, I think it was. Yeah, I know Walnut Creek, but no, it's in here in Ohio.
Oh, we got one here in Raleigh called Walnut Creek.
And I seen eggs. I seen a few places that sold meat. That there's a cooler sitting on the side of the road. Now, the last week I wouldn't have bought anything that was sitting on the side of the road because it was probably roasting in there. But I end up going back up. There was homemade sausage for $3.99 a pound.
You didn't jump on it?
Not in the heat. Well, I'm gonna go up to 100-degree weather and leave it in my car for 6 hours
on the way home.
Yeah, there's certain time that Amish won't pay attention to you.
Sausage around here is like $5 a pound.
Yeah, this is not, you know, from a butcher or anything. This is right from
Oh,
the
no.
farm.
Yeah, the same here. $5
Yeah.
a pound straight from the farm.
And well, there's a few places like that I've seen, and about every couple miles there's you know, Amish selling something out front of their farms. And about probably every 5 miles you have to slow down to 20 miles, because every few miles there's an Amish schoolhouse. Yeah. Because
I thought you was gonna say horse and buggy.
no, believe it or not, I only seen one horse and buggy, and somebody almost took it out.
Oh no.
It was all electric bikes. They even had a not a car lot, but a electric bike lot where they had all these electric bikes sitting out there with the signs on them and stuff for sale.
You was talking about that the other day.
Yeah, and it's the weirdest thing to see something like that.
We got used car lots down here, and y'all got used electric bike lots up there.
And it's just in that area, which is not too far from here. And believe it or not, I've lived in this area and didn't even dawn on me that Berlin Seeds is the Berlin Seeds in Ohio, which is
Wow.
40 minutes away from me. If that depends if there's Amish in the way. Because that depended on the Amish. There are some of them guys are going 40, 50 miles an hour in them electric bikes.
I got a question. Well, it's going to be for anybody. On a electric bike, how long will the charge last?
It depends how long you pedal, because pedaling actually helps charge it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
How long you go, how fast, how heavy, you know?
Yeah.
I won't be pedaling much. If I knew that, I'd lose my fat.
They gave you you could actually use some electric bikes while you were there. They're for free.
That sounds about like it was when they first come out, because some of them you could pedal and take off, or you know, you could just pedal, period.
Oh no, you push the button and it goes and you go. It's like
really?
a motorbike. Yeah. The pedals are there just in case your battery dies or you help charge it. Because I always wonder, why are these people pedaling when they're going 40 miles an hour? And
Like Bobby says,
I asked the guy that was renting them. Well, it wasn't really renting because they were free, not to take home, but to use while you were there. And he said that that's a way to help charge. It's not going to charge full battery or anything like that, but it reduces the drain on it.
Okay, Grace. Huh.
There's something similar like that here downtown on the Riverwalk, but of course you got to rent them. But they have bikes like that and scooters. And you got to download an app or whatever, and
Yeah, it's actually 16 states.
Yeah, I heard something about that myself.
Yeah, we've talked. I think it was on 101s, wasn't it? That I was talking about that. Well, it was somewhere.
So. I heard somebody say something about it.
Yeah, because I told What that it actually made it all the way down to Georgia.
Thank God. Well, I can't say that because I don't know if we got any river connections with y'all.
too far north.
It wasn't river. It was air. that did it.
Airborne.
What KMA? Kiss my too far up north.
I couldn't even think of one. I was trying to think of a letter. I was just gonna say LOL. Lol. But yeah, but if it came that far airborne, just imagine what I mean. We know something's in the water too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they were going to test the water, but
They were
the 3 scientists mysteriously
disappeared.
died in a plane crash with all their records or investigation stuff. Evidence. There you go. Yeah, that and it wasn't like the airplane blew up and caught fire or anything. It just crashed, but it destroyed all the evidence that they had that told us if it made it into the water system.
Sounds like to me it was pre-planned.
Oh, really? This was the plane that was tracking all this stuff.
Yes.
Oh, wow. When did this happen? I didn't hear about that.
I think 6 days after
Okay.
it had happened, something like that.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They were all on the plane together, so it's if I was investigating something like that and everybody said, well, let's ride this plane home, I said, you guys go ahead.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I'll take the bus.
Yeah, something.
I may just hitchhike.
I won't take the train. I'll take the bus.
Well, you look at it like this. If they don't care about people, what makes you think a bus is going to be any safer?
Well, the thing is, they want everybody on that plane, and I'm not going to go with them.
Well,
they'll go after 2 before they go after 1. is kind of where I was going at that.
At that time, yeah.
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 But more than likely, I probably wouldn't do any of that investigating stuff because I know what happens to people that find out the truth.
Give it to my boss man. He really, really is a good person you can trust.
Yep, I already mailed it to him.
Yeah, really. I mean, he's got it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to let me go ahead and share this. Is that it? Here it is. I wanted to.
Is that a Bud Light what?
No, I was saving them for you when you get here.
There we go.
Put them on ice.
This is what we got for tomorrow. It's the actual, without you even having to pay for this. It's the actual speech that Sarah gave at the summit. Really, really, really good speech.
Now, is that the original Sarah Palin?
Huh? Her name's not Palin.
Okay, I misread it wrong. Darn it.
And it's just Sarah, plain and tall. It's her channel name, I guess you would call it. She goes over preserving food and making sure you have enough food and stuff for the year and whatnot. A lot of that stuff.
She must be tall.
I think she's about 5'10" ish.
It was a short cameraman taking the picture.
but I do believe I have it set for tomorrow at 1 o'clock ish.
Yeah.
I do
I
believe.
remember that.
And really, really good stuff. And I still have like probably at least another week of material to put out. And I didn't really record that much. So I recorded some stuff that I didn't get to keep because of overheating of the camera and fan noises and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, what gets me is what we talked about earlier. Video 2 came out before video 1. I didn't know nothing about video 1.
Well, that's YouTube for you. Because
Yeah.
until last week, I couldn't schedule anything unless it was alive. I guess I'm kind of out of the doghouse to where they can let me schedule now.
Huh.
So it was supposed to go out first, but then yeah.
Right.
And these are all in 4K that I'm uploading too. So they're really good quality videos. Yeah, I was surprised to find out that the first ketchup was made from a cucumber. I was like, that don't sound right, but that's the way it was. They made the first ketchup out of
That would taste it.
I know the original ketchup is not red, or wasn't red.
It was a cucumber.
Okay.
And then they went, probably when that guy figured out that the tomato didn't kill you,
it was good,
that it actually tasted good. That now I know in about 1860s is when they started canning spaghetti sauce.
Okay.
Because they started harvesting that stuff. Once they found out, this stuff's good. And I can imagine how the ketchup came, because they probably left it on the pot too long and, oh man, this is really thick.
Well,
we'll can it anyway and see what happens. It might turn out better. And then they just put it on a hot dog or something. Well, they're probably not a hot dog, but a sausage link.
Something like that. Well, now, I think it was Saturday, I made some Emotech. And Dixie loves that stuff.
Street corn?
Yes. Oh.
Oh yeah. Some good stuff.
I went to the store and got some I'm gonna call it Hispanic spice.
Tahini.
Yeah. Dude, that thing's got a kick to it like you wouldn't believe.
You think that's got a kick to it?
Look, I'm not into the spicy food like I used to be.
That's dessert. That's a dessert.
I put my finger in there just to get a taste of it. Dude, no, to me, that was like eating one of these here Carolina ghost peppers.
Really?
It's more tangy than hot to me.
Yeah, it's got like a lime taste to it, doesn't it?
No, it didn't have no lime taste.
But I don't know how your grocery store is. Now, if, most of them, they have several different options. They have like a regular one, and they have a low sodium one, and then I think there's like a third kind.
Well, now this one, it says mild hot sauce. Okay, that's what it says.
Don't make me go get my bottle.
Oh, that right there.
Okay, yeah. You got the original.
Well, I tell you what, if it is hot. Well, to me, it's hot. Now, if it's been about 20, 30 years ago, I probably put half this bottle in there.
I got a recipe for a street corn pasta salad I've been wanting to try. I'm gonna try it out soon.
I pulled up, I had forgot how to fix Mexican street corn. I pulled up video off of YouTube.
Yeah.
Man, my God, I did not realize they was that many recipes for it.
Oh,
I'm
They
out of
even,
the mean, but I do have this stuff.
oh yeah. It's the same effect.
yeah,
Yeah.
so now that's what I got.
Let me see. What do I got?
Oh.
Here, you want to smell mine?
Let me go to my
You get a mango or a pineapple and you sprinkle that on there. Oh, good stuff.
I want to try that.
I got the same one you got. I got the medium, but I got the low sodium version.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeff, have Garden State Gardener send you just one jelly bean. He ate one last night.
Was it hot? Or was it crappy?
He's got some nice jelly beans for you.
I bet he does, huh? I'll send him a cucumber melon.
Whenever I get seasonings like that, if they have a low sodium option, I usually get that one.
Yeah, I'm supposed to.
There's a
can't
bunch of
believe
things
it.
I'm supposed to.
Because I know I'm gonna add salt to it. You know, I'm gonna add some more flavor to it.
Yeah, your salt is better than their salt, basically,
Yeah.
What?
because it's not really salt that they're putting on it. It's a sodium thing.
All I know,
In most cases.
they got some excellent Mexican style Coca-Cola. It tastes a lot better than ours.
Where did I see that? Oh, at that place where I got my peaches. They got some the tall bottles too.
Yeah.
I was gonna get one, but every time I go up there, I get a Muggs root beer.
Why did you have to bring root beer up? I had a dream about root beer today. Now I want one. Well, I had a dream last week. I had about a 20-foot snake coming out from up underneath my house.
Did it wake you up?
Now I was looking out the kitchen window and seen it. And this is in my dream.
So, are you planning on canning anything new this year, Jeff? That turns out, I'll put it that way.
I'm not canning no jam this year.
See, he'll send you some beans, some jelly beans.
Believe it or not, I'm wanting to try something I've never tried. I'm wanting to can coleslaw.
Yeah, I'm wanting to make sauerkraut. I'm wanting to do a lot of
I done sauerkraut a couple of years ago.
pickling, not pickling, but fermenting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of it being done up there. They were holding classes and stuff on it, and learn a lot of stuff on it.
Get you when after you get it put in your jars and everything, get you a paper towel and put over it and take your rubber band to keep it on there. That way it can burp and you ain't got to go in there and loosen the top all the time.
Well, I'm getting I've been looking at Crocs around here, and there's some for like $39, and hopefully I can get one of those for a gallon.
Okay.
Gallon crock, and then I'll just put a towel over top of it with a rubber band
All right.
after
Now,
I weight it down and everything. I think,
now, a couple of
and
years ago, I'd done about a gallon and a half of sauerkraut.
yeah.
Turned out pretty decent, but I don't eat sauerkraut like I used to.
Well, you should. Everybody
I
should
know.
have fermented stuff. It could be
Oh
beans,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody should have something fermented.
Yes. What? Oh, I can't even think the name of it. It's good for your system. In other words.
Yeah, gut health.
Yeah. But all I got to do is eat corn. I ain't got to worry about nothing else.
It's like the
Nothing for me.
natural microbes and stuff that gets processed and made during the fermentation.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Yeah. See, you missed it last night, Jeff.
Woo! Habo, yeah.
Habanero. Yeah. He wasn't in the hot ones. He went in the ones that sometimes are gross ones,
Yeah.
and ended up with a habanero
No,
Mm.
thanks. I
with
can't
nothing to
go.
drink.
Oh, Lordy.
They'll get you going.
So those Thai chili peppers I got going on, man, it don't take much of them. They'll light you up.
Jennifer, I'd have to go back and look at the video that I did. But it seems like I did put a top on it.
No, the thing is, when you're fermenting stuff, it doesn't make a difference if there's air up there. The only thing you don't want in there is a bug. The bug will ruin the whole thing. The idea is once you do the fermenting stuff, it's below the liquid level.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
they do stay
as
away.
long as there's no air, because the air is not going to do anything to the vinegar solution stuff. The air can't penetrate it, or the spores, or whatever you want to call it, the bad stuff. Now, if what you're fermenting rises up to the air, that's when it can actually ruin what you're fermenting.
Now, what I've done is the green leaves that I pulled off the cabbage, instead of throwing them away, I kind of cut them in half and put them in there, over what I done diced up, and put some weights on it to make sure everything I had was under the liquid.
Yeah.
And
believe it or not,
about a tablespoon?
One of the best things to put for fermenting or in pickling is grape leaves.
I
learned that from Jessro.
And vineyard chicks.
Yeah.
But
well, they have a bunch of grape leaves up there. I have some wild ones growing out, and I haven't clipped them because of that purpose, because I want to, my cabbage out there, I want to ferment it.
Okay.
And that's why I may have to trim it down because grapevines are growing everywhere.
Well, now I got a question for you and chat in here. After you done gone through your process of fermenting your cabbage, the whole 9 yards, normally it don't last long. Can you pressure can it, water bath it, or whatever to make it last longer? Or does it have an expiration date on it?
That's the thing, is unless you introduce something to it, you leave it there. You scoop it out how much you're going to get, and you leave it in there. As long as
Okay.
it's below that level, you're good. You just got to make sure you don't use, like, you don't stick your hands in there and grab a bunch out,
Right.
because
Would it be
and I'm only going on with this because
Jethro?
yeah, I seen how he did it, and he said that his family been doing it for longer than he'd been alive. So if he's still using that same process, who am I to say anything different?
Well, I remember seeing the same one you talking about, because we sat here and talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, and when you brought it up, I remembered it. Okay. But I mean, it's coming up. Mama used to cook sausage or hot dogs with it all the time, and it had a pretty decent taste to it.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I ate sauerkraut, God knows, in years. I really didn't like it that much.
Well, the stuff you get at the store is usually in a bag. You're lucky if you can get it in a can anymore, but it's usually in a bag, and it's just like the milk and just like, the butter. It's all pasteurized. It's
is.
been cooked, and that defeats the purpose of it, what it's meant for.
Now you're growing your cabbage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 3 of them out there. I mean, they're not really big. The heads right now are only like that big.
Good God, that's bigger than what we got in grocery stores around here.
Right.
I can go to the farmers thing down there, and they're like huge.
Yeah, not around here. And y'all got a
Yo.
shorter growing weather than we do.
Well, I didn't start my cabbages this year. All I did is put 3 seeds. I put one in each little cube thing. I'll probably start showing that here pretty soon.
Okay. Okay.
Because I want to pull the weeds out before I film.
Yeah, I got to stake up a couple of tomato plants.
Yeah,
Cherry tomatoes.
I've got to do that too. I still got a lot of work to do.
Y'all ever heard of the Florida weave?
Yeah.
No, I've not.
Yeah,
Well,
haven't you been watching True Grit?
I don't think I've seen in about a month and a half.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It's basically you have poles every so often, and you weave it back and forth in between those. And each time it grows, you bring that string back and forth.
Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
but no self-respecting Georgian would ever call it the Florida weave. I call it the Georgia weave.
Oh,
Same, not the same.
I think
I know
they
what
did
you're
call
talking
it
about. I
Florida
just
weave.
didn't know the name of it.
Yeah.
What about chow chow? Y'all ever had that?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, to my knowledge, I've never ate chow chow.
There's different versions of it too. I've seen, okra in it, corn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Each state puts their own little twist on it.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, the hotter it was, that's what she wanted. She loved it.
I've seen
Really?
thinking about trying some. I probably won't do any canning per se, but I think I'm gonna do some pickling and some fermenting. And I'm thinking on using some of my green tomatillos I got growing. Try them and see how that would turn out to make chow chow.
Yeah.
Indiana, how did the weaving come out for you? I'm curious. Dixie is sitting here eating a hamburger with pickles and ketchup in front of me.
I'll probably do the weave on my tomatoes, my paste tomatoes. because I really didn't think they were gonna make it because something ate all the leaves off of them. So I just left them in the ground, and a week later I seen leaves on them again. So
Well, if I get lucky and I get enough tomatoes, I'm going to try to make some salsa. I don't know how that's
Yeah.
going to work out.
that's what I'm doing this year, and I've already got probably a good 30 jalapenos out there right now. But I want to make my cowboy candy relish, and I want to make salsa. So I'm like, which one am I gonna do?
Look, how many farmer markets do you have in your area?
Not just in our area, none. I have to drive to go to and it's not really a farmer's market. They have some produce, and they have
Okay, produce market.
Oh, that reminds me. Let me show you something.
Well, see, what I was talking about, you can go up there and talk to them, and every produce market ends up throwing away, let's say a bunch of tomatoes, cucumbers, or whatever. You can get them to save them. You can go through them, and you can make salsa or
A darn camp.
yeah, the good ones like that.
Yeah, I just cleared out some more space. I think I'm gonna get me some more jalapeno seeds in the ground.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Them and some more cucumbers.
This is what I found up there, and no reason I probably shouldn't have bought it, but
Really?
That's funny.
the cat the one we have we can't use because the cats always pull it down, the toilet paper, and we go in there and it's a whole roll of toilet paper all over the floor. So I figure maybe I stick that on there and they'll look at it and go away from it. I don't know.
I want some of that toilet paper you cannot tear.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Depending on who comes over.
Yeah, I like. Well, I would rather like it more spicy than not, but a lot of people in the family don't like the spiciness, so I mellow it down. Like my cowboy candy relish. I devein half of them and take the seeds out of half, and then the other half I just leave them the way they are. And that it still gives you a little kick, but it's nothing that's going to go woo and burn your throat and whatnot.
Well, now, when you follow a recipe out of the book, what's your go-to recipe book? Is it?
That's my recipe.
Okay.
Well, it's unless they took it down. I don't know. Let me go see.
Because I know everybody starts out with a recipe book, and the first couple of recipes. Then after that, they start adding.
Yeah, I've got the whole recipe. It's 3 pounds of jalapenos. And it depends. If you don't want it as spicy, half seeded and deveined, and then half just regular. And again, I make relish. I don't make the little rings. 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, 6 cups of sugar, a half teaspoon of turmeric, a half teaspoon of celery salt or celery seed, 3 tablespoons of garlic, and I usually accidentally put about 4 or 5 in there.
Nice.
1 teaspoon of ground cayenne pepper, and it's my ground cayenne pepper, so it's stronger than
Store bought.
yeah. And that's the recipe there. And let me pop the video. Oops. The
Might
link.
try to make some of that this year.
Yeah, I like it in the relish form. That way I can put it on hot dogs and
Put it on everything.
oh yeah.
Well,
Hamburger.
see, I
It's
know
real good on
Yeah.
hamburgers. Grilled cheese.
my son loves stuff
Oh.
like that.
Shoot, why not?
That's the thing I used it most on. Not was it last year? I don't know. Anyways, I'll get the bread after I buttered one side, and I'll spread the cowboy candy relish on, and put the cheese on, and then put the other bread on there, and then fry it up, and then just grill the cheese the regular way. Oh, best grilled cheese you ever ate.
How many jars or what size does your yield off your recipe?
It's the smaller jars. I think it's a half pint. I do believe.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think I got like 8 of those, but the brine itself is like liquid gold, because you can put it in potato salad, you can put it in it, you just pour it in there to mix it with a salad or something.
Yeah.
Macaroni salad. It's like if you're cooking a ham for Christmas or something, you put that on for a glaze. Oh man,
I bet.
that is so good. The skin of the ham tastes better than a whole ham.
Oh no.
Oh,
Video Chick's going live tonight.
yep, I do believe so.
Okay.
If you have cowboy candy and you ate all the jalapenos, save the juice. Kraut. Yep. Yeah, because you always had I had like maybe 5 or 6 jars of the brine left, the juice of it, because you fill up the jars with the peppers and everything, and then you fill the rest up until the inch headspace, and then whatever juice you have left over, you can that too in extra jars.
Now, if you can it, how long do you can it, and at what pressure?
It's water bath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I do believe it was 15 minutes
okay. What are you looking at me?
after rolling bubble. And that's one of the most important tips of water bathing. Just because it bubbles a little bit doesn't mean it's a rolling bubble. It has to be a rolling bubble for like 5 minutes, and then you put your lid on, and then you wait. Yeah. And then if you're like Make, she does water bathing for like 3 hours. You always have a teapot going, so you can keep, because the water will evaporate. You always keep that level. That's like on pressure canning. You only put that inch and a half of water in there. That's it, because it's pressure canning is basically the steam is pressure, or still in the jars.
You want to burger with?
No.
Okay.
And I tried to let somebody know this in somebody's video. They filled a pressure canner all the way up over the jars. I'm like, you just water bath. You didn't can those. You didn't pressure can them.
You know, I'm like anybody else. When I first pressure canned, I was scared that I was going to end up with a skylight in my kitchen. But after reading it and doing it 2 or 3 times, I got no problem with it.
Yeah, these 2 ladies that I watched for 2 days, that was one of the is pressure canning dangerous? You see all these pictures, and they said, now think about these pictures. You see the whole top of the stove is all blown up, and there's a hole in this ceiling, but the lid of the pressure canner is in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? It was a staged picture. In that's you can't believe everything you see on the internet.
Huh. I've never noticed that on any of them.
Either did I, until I looked at it and I was like, you're right.
I'm gonna have to
The lid of the pressure canner was in the oven. The oven was all squished down, and there was the lid of the pressure canner was how did it go through the roof and then opened the door and came in and went into the
oven.
The oven.
Like,
well, see, I remember my grandpa. I don't know if he ever pressure canned, but I remember him using jars, and I still remember the jars were blue.
That's the old jars.
Yeah. And believe it or not, you may think this is weird and stuff, but he had a pile where he would dig these jars out of the ground. And he would fill them. This is how they stored them and everything. He would fill them up with dirt and bury them, because how do you break? How are you going to break something that's buried under the ground? And when he needed jars, he would go to the creek and clean out all the jars that he was going to use that year or whatever he was canning. Because I remember going down there and cleaning them with him, because we actually sat in the creek because it was cool. And that's how he did. That's how he did it.
I hate my phone at times.
Now, pressure canning, the first time I seen that, it was my wife did it. And she hey, behave. She wasn't scared or anything. She was canning chicken. She put them all in there and did the number. I didn't really watch the process of what she did, but pretty soon I started helping her do it, and she's someone who taught me how to do it.
Well, the funny thing about it is, I never really seen either side of my family, mama's side or daddy's side of the family, can nothing. When I got into it was after both of my parents have passed. I had nobody I could turn to, didn't know nobody. That's where YouTube come in handy. But yeah, it got to the point, just because I saw one video, I didn't go off of that one video.
Yeah.
See, I would spend a good, day to 2 days of watching how to pressure can one certain item before I'd even try it.
Now, I've got a new canner. This is the first thing I do with that canner. Is read this book. And I've read it once, and I'm going to read it a couple more times if I have to. Because, well, I don't know how many people have an All-American and have a different type of one. Because I've got a Presto one and another old one up there that has a seal, a rubber seal on it. And of course I oil the seal down so it doesn't crack or anything like that.
Right.
But there's a difference between an All-American and any other ones. There's no seal. There's no rubber seal there. So you still have to oil down the rim. Now, they forgot oil. So, which was good. It was a learning experience for people who didn't have oil to oil the rim. That lid gets stuck. And you actually have to use a metal spoon and pry that thing up. And that she showed you how to do it. And this stupid fly got one fly in here.
You know, you need to talk to her and say, for the one, because to my knowledge, there is no video out there how to pry a top off.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was on the side where the fan is watching, kind of like the backstage area, and I wasn't filming at that time. Of course, my camera had overheated anyway, so
get her to make a video.
She probably has one. It's Sarah's stuff will be on TikTok, unless it's somebody like me puts her on YouTube. Because I put that video of her canning Bushcraft. I think it's
right.
And which I kind of wish I would have grew cherry tomatoes. I could probably grow a couple of them, because I still got like another 100 days before frost time.
You got time, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I did not realize how many cherry tomatoes you can get off of one cotton picking plant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Chop them up or just throw them whole in like a pasta salad.
Dude, half of mine didn't even make it inside the house last year.
A rubber mallet. Yeah, the only thing they had is a big metal spoon. So crink, and then pop. You'd be surprised how. And those were brand new pressure canners too.
I thought it was pronounced with a P, not a B.
Huh?
Jennifer Ocean, she said brood shedder. I always thought it was pronounced with a P.
A P other than a what?
A B.
No.
Oh, you're probably thinking of like prosciutto, and I think she's talking about tomatoes.
Oh well, this is another one.
Cheddar.
Is that pancetta?
Yeah, that may be what I'm thinking about.
Wouldn't mind having some.
Yeah.
In the same family.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same family because it's tomatoes. The other one's
it goes to my belly. I don't care.
Okay.
Really?
next week I will have another canner up here to answer your questions. And I think I'm going to continue doing this at least in the summer months, because I think it's good information that we can always
Definitely.
we need to know about.
Mm-hmm.
And Friday, I do have a guest. I don't know exactly what to call this guest, or what what kind of expertise would you call I think I might have swallowed that fly.
Doctor,
No,
more protein.
he said he's into kind of fitness stuff, the carnivore diet and stuff like that,
Oh, that'll be interesting.
and some other stuff.
Well, I'm carnivoring right now as we speak.
Well, you got the Liver King as a guest.
No liver.
What's wrong with that? Chicken liver is the best.
No, I can't stand the smell of liver. Even if it's
We're not
cooked.
coming down here then.
Nope. Can't do it.
Yeah, that'll be good to hear something about the carnivore diet. I've looked up some things about it, but not really in depth.
Oh, when I used to lift, I used to go a month on it and stuff, and you drop some weight, but you have to be careful with it, because if not, you can clog the pipes.
Oh yeah,
Now,
yeah.
exactly what is a carnivore diet?
Meat, eggs, and butter, and cheese, some cheese.
No bread.
No, that's a nasty carb.
Man,
It's
that'd
one
be
of those
tough.
things you
See,
can eat.
and that's really hard for me, especially in probably about a couple weeks, because it'll be tomato sandwich time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do it.
Tomato sandwich, salt, pepper, mayo.
There you go.
I'll wait till after the summer growing season. I'll do it in the fall.
Yeah,
Well, you know
basically.
something. You think about it. A hog and a cow, they are vegetarians. Look at what forget the hog. A cow,
No, they're not.
I just said forget the hog because it just hit me.
No, the cows.
What do cows eat?
What does a baby cow eat?
Milk.
There you go.
They're yeah, it is true.
You can be a vegetarian all you want. You can run around, you can tell people you a vegetarian. But when I say I'm a meatitarian, don't open your mouth.
Well, we actually met somebody that was a vegetarian that dabbled in meat every once in a while, but he said he was a runner. I got to explain this really fast. He was a marathon runner, and these other guys were outperforming him. He's like, why? And he says, and they told him they're vegetarians, and he switched over, and he got faster and better and whatnot.
Really?
It's hard. Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. The girls are
Out.
live right now. Let me get their link and paste it here, and we'll see you guys over there. And again, next Monday is another canning night. We're gonna have more guests, more canners on. I'm gonna try to get 3 or 4 canners throughout the month and whatnot. So we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Night, y'all.
Out.